screen or the desktop?
Desktop.
Right, so with time cards, there is 3 steps I do the time cards.
Okay.
With the first step is the managers, what they do is, if we are running in the current week, like this week's dates are 22nd of April to the 28th of April, some of the managers, they tend to submit time cards for future weeks and they approve them as well. So we don't want those time cards to be processed in this week. The first process with the time cards is we'll go on to the home page. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see it, yeah.
Take screenshots for this as well. So, time cards. Step 1 is and approve the future week time cards.
Sometimes they'll add ones from the future then in, will they? Like from this week, for example, from week commencing the 29th.
Yeah. So what they've done is in this week they've submitted time cards for the next week, which we don't want them to be processed here. So we go on my HR time management. Good time. Just before it moves on to the next step here. So on the left hand side, you've got team time cards.
Yeah.
And take screenshots. Click on that. And that will bring you onto the main page where we enter the time cards. This is where we check the time cards. So for approving or unapproving or submitting and uploading.
Yeah, I've used this plenty of times to find and check things.
So that's great. So this you go on advanced. Click on advanced.
Yeah.
That will bring us onto this page. So we don't want any time cards for the next week onwards.
Yeah.
Which would be end of this week is 28th.
Yes.
So anything from the 29th of April onwards. And this one we have to be very, very careful for unapproving the time cards, because I once did that same week. Probably actually went into a few weeks back and I changed the status to submitted. So all the time cards which were approved, they were reversed and we were getting negative entries after the payroll calc. I remember Mahesh used to be on the payroll team, so we had to fix it. And that was 11 o'clock at night. I was still fixing these errors.
Really?
Yeah, so be very careful with this. Now it's all very organized and everything, but at that time it was like a mess, complete mess when you started.
That's because you went back several months by mistake, did you say then? So
Yeah. So it changed all the status for all the time cards from processed to submitted.
They tried to take it back.
Yeah, so the system just took back everything as retro. I was getting negative entries on everything, and then managers were getting messages that your time cards are getting submitted. The approved time cards are getting submitted. So they were querying it at the same time. That's when we found out that when you received the message from the managers, they're saying that there were few hospitals just sending us messages that why are we receiving this message with the time cards being submitted instead of approved. So that's what we found out. Mahesh helped me looking into it. We fixed it then eventually. So, but yeah, that was a big mess. It took me about 3-4 hours to fix it. So end of the week is 28th Sunday. We start from the 29th. And then we go several months forward, just say at the end of October. This date doesn't matter. You can go as many months you can go forward. It's just this date from here, which is the start.
Yeah, the point from is most important, isn't it? That's where we. It's most important, is it? The day after. The day after.
Yeah, the day after the last week of the current month. Yeah, that's right. Current week.
Yeah.
So we click on approved. So anything which is approved from this date onwards, and we click on search.
Whoa.
You see,
quite a
all
lot.
these time cards from 29th of April onwards have been approved. So we just simply, what we do is click on here on the person name, just next to that person name, there's a box there. Click on that.
Select all. Yeah.
Yeah, just make sure that it's 29th and not 28th or 26th, anything before 29th, and then change it to submitted. It will take some time to, yes, it's done that. Again, there'll still be some more. Click on that again. Again, make sure the dates are there and submit. And click on that. And keep on doing this until it's all changed to.
If there's multiple times.
Right?
Yeah, you have to click on this. Oh, there's that many, isn't there?
Because there's so many pages. I should have shown you that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pages at the end. Right at the end, if you scroll down to the end, it'll tell you how many pages are there. So you keep on doing it until it's all blank. Blank means there's no more time cards in future which are approved after the 29th of April.
So once you've done this, obviously that gets rid of the ones that have been approved for the future. But then they would need to be approved again, wouldn't they?
That'll be my next step then. After this will be my next step. I'll show you that. Why is this not? These are monthly employees, probably sickness, absence, or something. Should change. Come on. Normally, so it just changes all of them to a blank screen. It disappears. Yeah, it's all gone now. So that was our first step, to change the approved time cards into submitted status.
Yeah.
Now the second step would be to change the submitted time cards from the ones which you've just changed. But probably the process which I've done now, I've done it same in the last week as well. So those time cards were for future for this week. They would have changed into submitted from approved. So I would do anything from, just say, the 1st of January up to the end of this week now.
Yeah.
So the end of this week to 28th of April, anything which will be in submitted status. Because the approved ones were changing to submitted last week. So they're still showing as submitted.
Yeah.
So we change them
I
to.
see what you mean, yeah. So you're doing the ones from the week prior, yeah.
The ones which I've done now are going into submitted status for the next week. So next week I'll go in and change them to approved.
Yeah.
So the same process I followed last week. All the approved ones are changed into submitted. So now the submitted ones will have to be changed to approved. And you can see here, these were all submitted last week with the approved status. So I changed them to submitted. And now in this week again, they're all still showing as submitted, so I'll change them to processed approved.
Yeah.
You see there, it tells you how many pages there are. There's 3, 4, so there'll be a lot of pages. So you just go to the first one and then start changing them to approved. Just make sure the date's 22nd of April. Anything beyond 22nd, before 22nd should be okay as well. Nothing after the 28th of April though.
Yeah.
After the end of the week.
Yeah.
We just change them to approved now. So that's all done.
Yeah.
The third one would be all approved time cards to be processed. Approved time cards to be processed. So now we want the same dates, 1st of April, January. So the retro will pull through any time cards which were submitted in the last week, the last days in this week. Up to the end of this month, and then status should be all approved. And then all the approved time cards will not be transferred yet. So we go into add fields. And we click on payroll transfer status. There'll be a new line entered here, a new row. And then this we want not transferred. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking screenshots as well at the same time, so you don't have to. If you forget it, then you can just refer back to this. So you want approved status and the time cards which are not transferred. So time cards which are approved but not transferred. This is what it means. From this date up to the end of this week. And we do a search. You get the list of all the time cards which have to be approved and which have to be processed in this week. Starting from the 26th or 22nd of April. They can be time cards for previous weeks as well, which the retro will pull them. So once this is...
So these are the ones that haven't been processed, is that?
Yeah, they haven't been processed yet, because I'm just going to start the time cards process. So these are the time cards which the managers would have approved yesterday. If you look at the submission dates, 29th of April. So these are, there's one for 30th as well. So they are still submitting them, but they've not been transferred yet, not been processed at all. If you get the status of this time card, this is where you check the status of the time cards. So
that one has funny dates, doesn't it? 26th to 28th. Doesn't really matter now.
Yeah, it's still within the week. It could be the start
within the week, yeah. It's just
they must have started on the 26th.
Right, I see. Yeah.
You can double check if you want. Let's see, 7030301 might be a start date. It's 7030301. Bank worker. Yeah, started from 6th of April. So the status here is not transferred and not processed. Once it's gone through the payroll, so there will be two steps with this as well. Once we do the first step will be we'll do the transfer, the upload. So this status will change into transferred, and will stay as not processed because it's not gone through the payroll yet. Once the payroll is calculated, then it should be transferred and processed. Anything after payroll calculation, it still says not processed. Then we'll have to look why it's not processed, and then we might have to enter it manually as well.
Yeah.
But we won't go there yet because we're just doing the time cards at the moment. So we'll transfer this onto Excel, export to Excel on here. So let's wait for it to, Basically, this is our actually file which tells us a time cards entries report, we name it. All the time card entries here will be basically transferred onto the Excel sheet. This is the sheet there. We have law of records here. So I won't do anything to it as of yet. What I'll do is I'll go into the submit a flow now. Basically transfer these time cards into the payroll for uploading.
Yeah.
So home page.
Is this your upload now that you're doing?
Yes, for the time cards, yeah.
Yeah.
Same process as we do for the PBL loads for the manual payments. Again, go on to payroll, but this is much easier, a simple process to follow. Submit a flow.
Mm.
Again, this you always have to select this,
GB.
and it would be load time card batches. So just type load time. It'll just give you this option. There's only one option for load time. Click on that. It will be load time card batches week for 2024. And this second option here.
Then it's just those two.
Yeah.
Name
And then
it.
just submit. So this process will pick up the time card from the background, whatever has been processed yet. We submit that. Once it's submitted, it'll take you to.
So with this one here, you not to attach a file or anything like that, is it? It's just loaded.
No. Yeah.
What's been submitted and approved.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once we've done this, because basically once we've run this process and we've transferred them onto Excel, these time cards are now ready for uploading. So this will automatically go through onto the payroll, onto this flow here. Click on upload file.
Element entries, was it? Yeah.
Yes. It's ready for processing. So click on upload file. And then click on done here. And it'll tell you the status of the time card, where it is at the moment, what's happening to them, it's getting processed or not. So we'll click on done. And this is where it is. So all these blue round circles, they should be all ticked green. That means your file is uploaded, all the time cards are uploaded. There's no errors or anything. From this, you see there's a refresh button here. In the meantime, what I do is, the time card entries report which I created on Excel.
Yeah.
Just go on there and just save it into the folder, into the time cards folder. I'll go again into my week 4 folders there. And as you can see, there's no time cards, so I just create a new one. Time cards. And then just save it as week 4, 2024 time card entries report. If there is 2 or 3 reports, then you can just put -1, -2, -3, depends on how many loads you're doing in that week. Whilst that's running in the background, you can save this. Close this one now. You see all these are green. That means the time card's been uploaded.
Okay.
Yeah, remember with this one, you don't have to enter any file or anything. Simply just, the system will pick it up automatically from the background. So that's done. And now the next step will be the retro. Just before the retro, just double check if you've got all the MES entered, all the MES manual payments, everything's done in the system. So we'll do the retro and then the PAE and then the first calc. Have you got any MES sheets left?
Yeah,
Imran,
I'm doing it one.
Well, you, Chris, you got any?
No, I haven't got any now.
You got, all right. So just before that, I mean, I keep checking on the people's portal as well. If there's anything coming for entry for input. After every major step, like every process, time cards, manual entries, payroll calculations, we just do this. Keep checking on the people's portal, just checking for any tickets. General queries
So
that
there's
can
anything
be,
right now, just queries, I think, isn't it?
yeah, it's queries, yeah, so they can be parked for now. I mean, I can look at them. This Sanini also, I think she's